Hi, so today I would like to do my seminar on the topic animations and animations in Flutter especially. So as we all know that animations play a crucial role in the user satisfaction and the user experience field, and animation has a great way to hook user for using an application for much more time, and they also provide a great satisfactory feel for the user, which means like they will get a kind of pleasure by giving them the user control animations, something like we can see in the animations, and we hit a like button in the Instagram or some those kind of animations. Like user control animations can give a great kind of satisfactory effect for the users. So as like any another programming framework, Flutter also has its own animation and its own great animation packages. So in Flutter, like basically we can compare or we can divide animations of two types. One is of painting type and the other is of code based animations. So basically these drawing animations or the animations which are created using paints are a set of icons or animated gifs which are actually drawn somewhere, and then we are using it for the animation purpose. So basically I would like to talk more about the code based animations because that's what we deal with more as a developer. So code based animations are mainly classified in two types. One is of implicit animation and other is of explicit animations. So implicit animations are more of a simple and easy way to use widgets, and it will provide the developers more easiness and more user friendly way. But the drawback of implicit animations are that we get only less amount of customizability, and we don't have much control over how the animation works, or we can't control in a more deeply. So and inside the implicit animations also we will get a two categories or two types. So first one is that the implicit animations with Flutter widgets. So basically Flutter itself provides some of the widgets for which supports animations by default, so it will help the developers a more to build animations. So some there are actually many built-in widgets which helps us to do animation. Some of them are like animated container, animated padding, animated margin. So there are a lot of default animated widgets. So to trigger an animation, these default widgets, all we wanted to is that to change its a particular value. So if suppose it's an animated padding, then we only wanted to change the padding of that particular animated padding widget during the runtime. So whenever the values of a animated widget changes during the runtime, it will automatically trigger an animation by itself. So we don't have to do anything else. So if you are dealing with stateful widget, then all we wanted to do is we need to create a set state and change the value of the animation. Then by default it will control the animation by itself. You don't have to set any of the middle frames or anything. It will or everything will be done by Flutter itself. And when going to the other category, it's of the implicit animations with custom widgets, which means like we can create animation to any of the property of any of the widget, and also by in a easy way. So we use teen builder. So the word teen comes from the word in between. So it's actually we are giving a end value and a beginning value. So the in between frames will be automatically calculated by the Flutter, and it will be automatically rendered by the Flutter engine. So the teen builder is something which helps us to animate any property of any of the widgets. So it's really helpful for animating the more complex properties of the widgets. And here also we don't have to customly render any of the frames or anything. It will be all done by Flutter itself. All we wanted to do is that we have to pass a begin value and end value, and here we also get more flexibility to provide which kind of animation effect that we want. Like we can pass different curves like ease in, ease out, or different rotation modes and all. So it will help us to give more customization to our animations, and it's also simple at the same time. So this is a kind of animation builder that we use lot more in our application. So here ends the implicit way of animations, and next is it much more complex but much more or controlled way of animations, and those are explicit animations. So basically in explicit animation there will be a common property called the animation controller. So the animation controller will be responsible for triggering all the animations and all the stuffs in our animation, and we use a widget called animation builder for doing the custom animations in our application. So here also, like same as the implicit animations, we get some pre-default widgets for doing the custom animations in explicit method also. So some of them are like gradient animator and the gradient rotator animator. So but the difference is that for these default widgets we want to pass a animation controller, unless they won't work. And for the animation control, like we have to give multiple steps and we have to declare many things, and we want to explicitly call the animation controller to start, stop, or to repeat forward. All these things to be explicitly called by the developer for such instances, then only the animation will trigger. But whereas an implicit, we won't want to call anything explicitly. All that will be done by the program itself whenever a value is changed. But whereas in explicit, we wanted to call or trigger the animation by ourselves using different events or different situations. So that's one of the major difference between explicit and implicit animations. And in explicit animation, we also wanted to pass all the animation, and we also wanted to create different in middle frames for the animation to work in a more better and more smoother way. And in explicit animation also, we can do more advanced and more complex animations by using our own custom animations, without passing any of the pre-built animation effects like ease in or ease out. We can create our own custom animation effects, but it will be more complex, and for that we had to actually derive the custom click path and the custom path effects. So we can let our widget to travel through that custom path, so it will be more complex, and it requires a lot of mathematical knowledge, like we have to deal with all the axes and vertices to do the custom animations. But it will give us a more freedom to do whatever we want in a open canvas. So that's what explicit animations do within advanced more way. But and here also we use the animator builder and animation control for doing it. So these are some of the ways where we can do the animations in Flutter. So that's all about animation, and that's it.